Welcome to Medicheck, a medication traceability and verification platform built on Hedera and leveraging AI tools to improve the verification of drugs across the supply chain, from manufacturers down to the patients. So to begin with, this is our landing page where you can see all the information about our product and how it works. And in this demo video, we're going to be going through features and how this application works. So as I said, the this application provides real-time tracking and advanced analytics, tracking the drugs from the manufacturers to the patients to ensure authenticity and to verify that it is not a counterfeit drug, to verify that the drugs distributed are genuine drugs. Now, let's start by logging in. So the first thing you'd want to do is create an account. And you can create an account either as a consumer, which is as a regular patient, or you can create an account as an organization. As an organization, you can either be a manufacturer, a drug distributor, a hospital, a pharmacy, or regulator. So I'm just going to start with let's start with an account as a patient. So this is where you fill in your information, but I already have an account, so I'm just going to log in using an account I already have created. Good. Now, after successfully signing in, it takes you to this dashboard where you have your profile, we have the scan history, which is a history of all the medications or all the scans of medications that you have done, so that you can always go back to them and revisit the information that you got from them. Now, this is the AI chat section, which provides an interface for you to chat with an AI assistant to ask it questions about the drugs that you scan and other questions like drug dosage, the side effects of the drugs, and any other thing that you might not understand. Then we have the settings page where you can update your personalized settings as you wish. Oh, and there's also a dark and light mode toggle. So if your preference is light mode or dark mode, you can always pick one of them. Now this is the part where you scan a medicine. So you go to the scan medicine page, then you have this QR code scanner, which allows you to use your camera either from your phone or your PC to scan the QR code on the drug. Then after you do that, it takes you to a page where you see the information, the verification details of the drug, see where it was manufactured, where it's coming from, to verify that it has not been tampered with or replaced at any point in the supply chain. Then in this section, you can have a chat with the AI assistant about the drug that you just scanned. You can ask it questions, you can ask it how the drug works, what are the possible side effects, and many other questions. And the AI is going to give you answers to them. So that's all you really need to do as a patient. You don't need any, that's all you need to do as a patient. Now let's sign out from, so yes, for the manufacturers, when you log in as a manufacturer, it takes you here to the manufacturer dashboard where you can essentially manage everything that regards your drugs, the drug batches that you create, drug units, and all of that. So here in the dashboard, you can see the total number of batches that you have registered on the platform. You have total number of active batches, which is batches that are in circulation that have been transferred to a different organization or to, say, a pharmacy or a hospital, etc. Then we have recent transfers. So this just gives you an overview of the statistics your of your drug batches. And this is the part where you can create a new batch. It takes you to the batch management page where you can choose to create a batch, select a product that you have available, select a batch size, the production date and expiry date, enter the composition details and storage instructions, then create a batch. Now, if you don't have any products here, you can always add products, and you do that here in the products catalog. Where you come here, here you can find all the products you have registered, so all the drugs you have registered as a manufacturer. Then you can add a product, give it a name, select a category, a description, select the dosage form, impute the strength, just fill in all of this information, then you create a product. And let's go back to the batch management page. Here you can have an overview of all the batches that you create and all the information about them. You can see the batch ID, unique batch ID, the product name, the production date, the expiry date, batch size, status, etc. Then you can view all of that information for each batch. And you can also choose to transfer that batch. So what this does is it transfers the ownership of the drug batch from your organization, to another organization which you give permission to own the batch. So you click on transfer, select a destination. Ideally, that organization would be registered on our platform. You select the organization, then fill in all of this information, the reason for the transfer, say sale or distribution, additional notes, and then initiate transfer. And when you initiate transfer, it says batch transfer initiated successfully. Now it says the drug is in transit. So this drug batch can now be safely moved on to the next organization. Now that organization will then accept the incoming transfer, and then once that is done, ownership of the drug is transferred from this organization to the specified organization in the transfer. Now, here is where you manage batch transfers. We have total transfers, outgoing transfers, incoming transfers, pending approval. Now here, you can see the transfer that we just created is showing up here as pending because it has not yet been accepted by the organization that we transferred to. So this is all about transfers. You can also create a transfer from here. Select a batch to transfer, then choose a destination organization and select another batch. Let's choose another manufacturer. Should we do that? Let's choose another hospital. Then let's say distribution again. Then we can create a transfer. And that worked successfully. Now we have 3 total transfers and both of them are pending. Now the QR generator, this is where we generate QR codes for the drug batches and for the manufacturers. So what you do is you select a drug batch, select the number of codes you want to generate, which should match the number of units of that drug that you have. So for each batch, there is a specified number of units, there is a total number of units of that drug, which you would specify to get the number of codes necessary to accommodate all of those units. Then you generate the codes, and then you have the batch QR code, then you have the QR codes for each drug unit. So think of it like the batch QR code being the one for the entire box of the drugs, for example, and then the unique QR code would serve as the codes on the individual drugs. Patients would probably buy unit drugs, while organizations would get the drugs in batches. That way, organizations can scan the batches, patients can scan the unique QR codes, and then it still verifies the drugs. Then we have the settings page, where we have the manufacturer's information that can be updated, and that is all for manufacturers. All of these are shortcut buttons that can easily take you to the necessary pages: transfer and generate QR codes. And that will be all for manufacturers. Now let's sign out and sign in as a different organization. Let's sign in as before this, I think we should sign in. Let me see. Right, now we're signed in as a hospital. So this is the hospital dashboard for hospitals that use our platform. You have total number of medications received, total number of medications verified, pending verifications, alerts for expired or expiring medications. Then we have quick actions such as verify medication. This takes you to the QR code scanner page where you scan a received drug batch to verify that it came from the manufacturer that initiated a transfer to the hospital. Then we have the check inventory quick button, which checks or which takes you to a page where you can view the inventory of all the drugs received or all the drugs in stock in the hospital. That's for the inventory page. Then we have the reports page where we see an overview of all the reports and analytics of the drugs received. So the number of verifications, number of pending transfers, number of resolved transfers, critical alerts, and so on. Then this we have the QR scanner, which we've already looked at. Then we have batch transfers, where we have total total transfers, outgoing transfers, incoming transfers, and pending approval. Now here we have transfer history, where we see all of the transfers that have either been sent or are incoming. And here is the button to create a transfer, similar to how we did it for the manufacturers. The hospital can also initiate a transfer to another organization, say another hospital or a pharmacy, for example. Then we have the alerts page, where we have an overview of all the alerts for expired drugs, suspicious drugs, expiring drugs, and so on and so forth. Then we have the settings page, similar to the manufacturers, where we update information and edit settings. And that is all for the hospital. Now let's go to the regulator accounts. Let's log into the regulator accounts. All right. Now for the regulator dashboard, this is the dashboard that will be used by regulatory organizations such as NAFDAC, for example, that regulate drugs on this platform. So on this dashboard, you can see active investigations, compliance checks, pending reviews, number of violations found, critical alerts, and so on. Then we have recent activities panel where we can view recent activities on in from different organizations on the platform, checking recent activities involving drug transfers, critical alerts, suspicious scans, and so on and so forth. Then we have the quick actions where we have compliance check. Here we regulators can have a broad overview of the compliance statistics, total number of transfers, pending reviews, compliance rates, flag transfers, etc. They can view number of transfers that have been initiated on the application. They can choose to approve a transfer or reject a transfer. Then we have all ownership transfers. They can have an overview of all the ownership transfers that are carried out on the platform and choose to also approve or reject them. Then we have the reports and analytics page where regulators can see the total number of organizations, active investigations, total scans, medication batches, organization distribution, that's the percentage or the ratio of different organizations that use the platform from hospitals, manufacturers, and so on. Then you can view transfer status of transfers that have been initiated. They can see the number of completed and pending transfers, and counterfeit reports, scan distribution, etc. Then we have the alerts and notifications page where they can have a broad overview of all the alerts that are received or that are sent, that are initiated based on suspicious activity, expired drugs, or anything that needs attention, immediate attention. They can view it here on the alerts page. Then we have the registered entities page where regulators can see all the registered entities on this platform, from organizations, yes, all organizations, hospitals, manufacturers, regulators, and so on. They can view, they can have an overview of all the entities that are registered on the application, view their license number and have their contact, and view their contact, like their email, and choose to suspend a certain organization if they are found wanting in a certain area. Then the settings page, where again information can be updated. Then we have the analytics page, where the regulators can view total scans, counterfeit rates, recent alerts, prediction status. Now on this page, they can have an overview and be able to, using the platform, have a prediction of possible locations where counterfeit drugs are likely to emerge. So they can predict counterfeit drug hotspots around the country using artificial intelligence based on previous counterfeit scans that have been detected. So it shows up on the map, the possible counterfeit hotspot shows up on the map, and it can be investigated further. So this is the page where hotspot predictions are done. Then here, regulators can also view counterfeit detection results across Nigeria, view hotspots where counterfeit drugs have been detected, and then the alerts page. And with that, that will be all for the regulator dashboard as well. So in this demo video, we walk through using this application as a manufacturer, as a hospital, as a regulator, and as a patient. With this, we've seen how Medicheck ensures verification and authenticity of drugs across the supply chain, from the manufacturers down to the patients. Thank you.